I told myself and my subscribers that I would try to not do videos related to the Wuhan, but there's some things that just keep pulling me back in to make me talk about certain things, and it's not every single topic, and don't expect me to do a video every single day about this thing that's going around. But it's certain stories that kind of jump out at me that makes me want to give it some attention, like the one I'm bringing to you right here. Now, we can clearly see just on the imagery alone where I'm headed with this, but now the Wuhan is being incorporated into it. So I was sent an alert from my Yahoo News app, and it reads, federal law enforcement documents reveals palm-colored supremacists discussed using the Wuhan as a bioweapon. I'm sitting here saying to myself, how in the hell are they going to do that? That was the first thing that came to my mind. How are they going to do this? I don't know, but we about to find out. Palm-colored supremacists discuss plans to weaponize the Wuhan via saliva, a spray bottle, or laced items, according to a weekly intelligence brief distributed by a federal law enforcement division on February 17th. Here we are on March 21st. That's when I'm recording this video. It is March 21st currently. This document was posted over a month ago, or it was distributed in a document over a month ago, what they planned on doing. Now, this was before the Wuhan really spiraled out of control, which was literally a couple weeks later into, the beginning parts of March. Federal investigators appear to be monitoring the palm-colored nationalist communications on Telegram, an encrypted messaging app that has become popular with neo-Nazis. In the conversations, the palm-colored supremacists suggested targeting law enforcement agents and quote-unquote non-white people with attacks designed to infect them with the Wuhan. When I tell you that palm-colored people, for the most part, are not far removed from their ancestors, believe me, this is an old trick they have used way back when, and they're trying to use it again right now. Violent extremists continue to make bioterrorism a popular topic among themselves, reads the intelligence brief written by the Federal Protective Service, which covered the week of February 17th through the 24th. Palm-colored racially motivated violent extremists have recently commented on the Wuhan, stating that it is an obligation to spread it should any of them contract the virus. The Federal Protective Service, part of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, is a law enforcement agency responsible for protecting buildings owned or leased by the government. The intelligence brief, marked for official use only, noted the palm-colored supremacists suggesting targeting law enforcement and minority communities, with some mention of public places in general. According to the document, the extremists discussed a number of methods for the attacks, such spending time in public with perceived enemies, leaving saliva on door handles. That is absolutely disgusting. By the way, at local FBI offices, spitting on elevator buttons, and spreading the Wuhan germs in non-white neighborhoods. The February document appears to show that at least some palm-colored nationalists were already taking the threat of the Wuhan seriously at a time when some in the government were downplaying the threat. On February 26, 45 said that he expected the cases to go down to zero in the United States in a couple of days. And you can see that didn't age well at all. The Washington Post reported on Friday that intelligence agencies were issuing ominous warnings about the Wuhan in January and February. The Department of Homeland Security did not respond to requests for comment. According to the Federal Protective Service intelligence brief, the discussion of spreading the Wuhan occurred in a channel on the app Telegram that is devoted to the siege culture philosophies of neo-Nazi author James Mason and accelerationism. Mason wrote a series of newsletters titled Siege in the 1980s that advocated for acts of racial terrorism in order to hasten a war that will cause the breakdown of society. In recent years, Mason's writings became popular among members of the violent neo-Nazi group Atawaffen Division and its offshoots. Mason could not be reached for comment. Growing numbers of palm-colored supremacists have also expressed interest in accelerationism, which involves advocating for extremist attacks with the express goal of provoking a larger societal conflict. Nick Martin, who is the editor of The Informant, a newsletter focused on hate and extremist groups, and a former investigative reporter at the Southern Poverty Law Center, told Yahoo News that multiple new neo-Nazi groups with younger members have brought Mason to prominence. There's a whole bunch of neo-Nazism that follows James Mason's writings and uses his work as a kind of their Bible. Adam Waffen is a part of that, but there are multiple groups that would fall under the same category. Homeland Security has identified palm-colored supremacist violence as one of the major domestic extremist threats facing the United States, and there has been a push to start tracking such groups the way U.S. intelligence agencies track foreign terrorists. Adam Waffen division has made headlines because of multiple criminal cases involving the group's leadership. Martin, who has written extensively about the group, said some of his sources believe there is a possibility followers of Adam Waffen or similar groups could try to take advantage of the Wuhan pandemic. There's a big concern right now, including from people who work in counterterrorism, that is an opportune time for these accelerationist groups to strike. Now, I'm going to say this to all the people out there that says this is a time for us to come together as one group. We must, because I've been hearing some people try to get back on that kumbaya train. I hope you just heard every word that I read to you. These individuals, even in the midst of a pandemic, do not take a day off to express their ideological beliefs. They said, okay, so what? There's a pandemic. We're still going to operate how we always been, even if we got to die while doing it. But we're going to make sure in the midst of us dying, we're going to take as many people that we hate down along with us. Like I said, they do not take a day off. I don't know what it is to get through some of our people's heads of what it is. It's like, do we have to sit you in front of a bunch of documentaries to show you the practices that they have done to your ancestors from way back then to even current back then? And when I say current back then, I'm talking about within the last 50 years, even to present day. And show you that they will not change. And I'm talking about people like the ones you see in this picture and the ones that I just read about in this article. They are using this pandemic to even further spread their hatred. And like one of my subscribers said in a response when I posted it up on Twitter, I hope it backfires on them. And I have a feeling that it will, because usually it always does. But the fact that they even had this as an idea for well over a month, and we're just now learning about it over a month later. Can you imagine if they've already put this little plan in motion, and what if it has worked on somebody? You saw what they said they were planning on doing. They said they were going to pass through saliva and spray bottles, which means these individuals would have to go out of their way to contract the Wuhan just to spread it to other people. So that means 9 times out of 10, they have it. That's the only way I can see them doing it. And what they'll do is, they say in spray bottles, which means they have to most likely distribute their saliva into a spray bottle, probably put something in there, shake it up, and then spray it. They said they would put their saliva on door handles, because people won't look to grab when they grab a door handle. They'll just grab it and go. And then they said spitting in spitting on elevator buttons, and basically anything that will require someone to touch something. But this doesn't surprise me, because this is coming from a group of people who at one time never bathed, and still in some current times still don't, except for maybe once or twice a week, and will tell you that they don't need to bathe more than every single day. Our ancestors, the Moors, had to teach them how to wash and be civilized. But now they walk around here like they're the most civilized group. But you have this story right here where they are just displaying their entire ass. Like I said, they don't take a day off. They don't. They just don't. And the more people will realize that, the better. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Have your notifications turned on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.